wondering what is happening to the world. Everything is changing.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change.
Our bodies will be so high-tech, we won't be able to really distinguish between what's natural and what's artificial.
Inside our own heads is the most complex arrangement of matter in the known universe.
You might ask yourself, can we get to be superhumans?
Artificial intelligence is software that writes itself. It writes its own updates. It renews itself. We normally tend to think of software as stuff that we created and that we wrote, and the machines do what we tell them to do and we own it. This is not any longer true. It writes itself at speeds that we can hardly comprehend, and people who write it know that you can't take it apart again and figure out what it's done. It writes independently, autonomously. It develops its own way of thinking. And there are dangers associated with that.
It's like, one way to think of it is, imagine we were going to be visited, imagine you're very confident that we were going to be visited by super intelligent aliens in, let's say, 10 years or 20 years at the most. Super intelligent.
So you think within 20 years
yes,
we'll have alien in Earth?
Well, digital superintelligence will be like an alien.
It will be like an alien.
Yeah.
Are we immortal? It's coming, so get ready. When we picture our future lives, we tend to assume that we'll live to maybe 70 or 80, because that's how long people live today. But most of us in this room will live far beyond that, maybe even forever.
Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to Psychosec. Can I answer any questions?
What is it all about?
Well, we're a company that produces 100% organic human sleeves. You're probably wondering what's a human sleeve. Well, if you gather around, I can let you know what we do here in full details. So here at Psychosec, we've been able to achieve true immortality by taking your human consciousness and storing it on a device called a cortical stack. It's implanted in the base of your neck, and it collects and stores everything that makes you you. Every memory, every emotion, every sensation, everything you've ever experienced gets stored on this little device. You can see it here on the screen that's about to come up.
We're about to see, for the first time ever, an explosion in human intelligence. I love this copy of Time magazine, plugging in the brain into the cloud. But that 2045 is not a right estimate. From the companies I'm seeing, Ray's estimate is by the early to mid 2030s. So imagine when you need additional memory capacity or 1,000 times more intelligence, you can sort of like spool it up like your phone does on the cloud today. But by the way, the early 2030s, oh my God, that's 20 years from now. So what's the world going to be looking like?
And right over there for
Give you a little bit more information.
Awesome.
So this is our cortical stack device. It's a small device, like as I said before, that's implanted in the base of the neck. It's a small incision, and it records everything that you've ever experienced in your life, from when you were a child to now. And we store it in a file called DHF, which is a digital human freight. Everything that makes you you is on this device. Now, all that information can be transferred over from the sleeve that you're currently occupying into the sleeve of your choosing. And just around this corner here is our final re-sleeving process. Come on in.
Real. I was the richest man on several planets by the age of 74. The first time I died, I was 99. New technology transferred my consciousness to a new body. For 263 years, I sieved into new bodies, living on in perfect health.
The question, what does it mean to be human, will no longer have an answer. But then again, maybe it never did.
Elon Musk wants to download your brain. He's the entrepreneur behind Tesla cars and SpaceX, of course, but he's troubled by where artificial intelligence is leading humanity. So he's trying to stay one step ahead with an idea to implant our brains with computer chips.
Do you think it's important to actually know what it is to be human before we jump into AI or AGI and be very clear about that? And secondly, is there a difference between wisdom and intelligence? And can it be very dangerous to have intelligence without wisdom? Can AI have wisdom?
Intelligence has nothing to do with morality, and wisdom does. You know, intelligence is about how good you are at accomplishing a goal, how good you are at figuring out how to play chess, how to help people as efficiently as possible, or how to murder people as efficiently as possible. But wisdom involves morality. And as soon as you get to questions of morality, purpose, meaning, you get into this fascinating controversy, which I think tech nerds like myself are often quite guilty about screaming away from. Many of my colleagues just completely dismiss this as just fluff. It's not in the equations of physics, so shut up, you know. And I just want to push back on that a little bit. And I feel that subjective experience is the only logical foundation one can have for morality, purpose, meaning, and so on.
You don't believe all that data, when used with artificial intelligence, will create wisdom. No. You don't.
No. Wisdom is from heart. The machine intelligence is about the brain. Brain is about the knowledge. You can always make a machine to learn the knowledge, but it is difficult for a machine to have a human heart.
But don't be fooled by robots, even when they get warm skin and even when they get perfume and they start smelling like us and getting really interesting, they are still machines. They have no warm blood in them, there's no sex in them, they have no mortality. They're cold code lines.
But it's not just reading DNA. We can now write DNA. We can actually create novel life forms. You can design a life form in your computer, print out a string of DNA, put it into a blank cell, and have it boot up for life. And it's not just writing DNA. CRISPR-Cas9, and unless you buried your head in the sand, you probably have heard about CRISPR-Cas9, right? The ability to edit our own genomes. To have a disease and say, let's edit that away. Think about Word for your genome. Click, paste, repair.